What the freak is up, my curious souls? My name is Tiana Hallams, and I am the proud founder of the Fearless Fulfillment podcast. I'm a passionate enthusiast of life, and my main goal is to live and help others live their most aligned and fulfilled lives. Everyone needs a personal hype woman that's brutally honest and pushes you to be your best. And that's me, mofos. I don't care if you're a woman, man, cat, dog, fish. You deserve to live a life that you design. In this podcast, I help you to take control of your life. I use profanity. I push you to challenge what you've always known. And my hope is that we can evolve and grow together. Cool beans. Let's go ahead and get this crack lacking. Wow. Wow, wow, wubsy, 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 wow, wow. Hello, my curious souls. Welcome back to another episode of the Fearless Fulfillment podcast. Can we just give a little round of applause? Yay! I can't even wait to get into this topic right now. So as you've seen on top of the headline of the podcast episode that you've chosen today, we are going to be talking all about finding your core value in romantic relationships and friendships, and why that is a hell no. That's a hell no. You should already have value in yourself, and then finding that relationship, friendship, romantic relationship is a bonus. When your main source of value in yourself that you see is coming from external sources, then you place a lot of value and you place a lot of necessity on these people. Once you've placed a lot of value on external sources to find your core value, that's when things get possessive, they get controlling, and they just get toxic in any way. Toxic. Man, oh man, something's off about me today. For some reason this week, I was reviewing my podcast list of what I wanted to talk about, and this topic called to me. Also, if you hear any background noises, it's a super windy day here in Hawaii, and we're doing the washer and dryer at the same time, so that's always fun. This is a fun little activity that we're doing. I promise I'll probably just talk over that, but if you hear any of that, just know that we're clean in here. Just know that we're a clean household, okay? The reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I wanted to give methods as to how to avoid placing too much value on your friends and even your family and your romantic relationships, because I feel a lot of the times people have an issue distinguishing between themselves and their relationship, if that makes sense. So first and foremost, how to avoid placing too much value on external sources, especially relationships, is going to be affirmations. And a lot of people think that affirmations is only just for your goals, like I want to become a millionaire, I want to be a successful business owner, I want to be, top of my company, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to do that, which affirmations are definitely all about, don't get me wrong. And I use affirmations in that way. However, affirmations can also be super, super, super powerful when you're using them for your self-confidence, your self-esteem. If you feel like something's off in your life, having those I am statements are so crucial, because your subconscious, once again, is always listening and absorbing the information that it takes in. And so if it keeps hearing over and over again, I am enough, I am enough, I am worthy of love, I am worthy of my standards, I am worthy of the life that I've always wanted, I am ridiculously confident in myself, I am beautiful, I am enough. All of those amazing affirmations are going to compound, and over time your subconscious is going to be like, okay, I get it, enough, Tiana, all right, fine, we're that. Your brain and subconscious starts to take that in as fact, and that's when it becomes super powerful, which is why affirmations are so powerful, because over time, hearing the same thing over and over again, you're going to be like, got it, I got that, it's registered, it's clicked in. A really good method into using affirmations that I've adopted in my life actually came from my business and working really on the mindset part of myself. And so I have made flashcards, and I haven't touched flashcards, I want to say, since I was like in 7th, 8th grade. Obviously, we're all using Quizlet. We're all a bunch of digital nomads out here. But I broke out the flashcard stack and I wrote out on each flashcard an I am statement. So it's important in affirmations to use I am because those are so, so powerful. It's not just I want this, or I want $1 million, or I want to be successful, I want this. When you're coming from a place of want, it's coming off to the universe and as prayer and all those kind of things as if that you don't have it already. And once you close that gap between want and have and just say, I am, this is a hot take, and I don't know if a lot of people will agree with this, but I think that the jump between I want and I have is I am. I'm going to say that one more time because the fact that this just came to me while I was recording this podcast and talking about it has just kind of thrown me from a fucking loop. So the bridge between I want and I have is I am, and using statements like that. I read my flashcards every single morning, and my flashcards have things like this written on it. I am enough. I am a 7-figure entrepreneur. There's that TikTok thing, and it actually really works, so I think that you should do it. It's the I do not chase, I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me. And I'm going to say that again one more time so that if you wanted to, use it, then you have this to constantly come back to. And you can also say it with me in your car or wherever you're listening to me, in your house, on your phone, whatever. Say this with me. I do not chase, I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me. And that helps to let go of the pressure that we put on ourselves. It's able to bring us the people that we want, or bring us the people that we need, bring us the people that are going to teach us those lessons that we want to develop who we are and how we function in this world. Those I am statements has helped me so much because slowly but surely I've noticed a change in my behavior just off of affirmations alone. Think about it. When you wake up in the morning, you kind of already decide, like your brain either decides I'm gonna have a good day or I'm gonna have a bad day. Like you're either wake up in a great mood, like you're like, oh my gosh, that's so weird, I feel rested, like this is gonna be a good day. Or your brain wakes up in a bad mood and then you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so groggy, like this is not gonna be a good day. Regardless of what mood you wake up with, if you grab your flashcards the moment that you wake up and you listen to these things and say them out loud. I mean, you can say it quietly. Like if you have a spouse or something, don't be like shouting this like at 5 a.m. But you can be like, I am enough. I am confident. I am strong. I am powerful. Like anything that you want to have on those flashcards is so important because then it reminds even your conscious mind, hey, that's our grind today. That's what we're striving for. That I am, like I am, over and over again. And even just listening to me talking on this podcast, you probably heard I am like 20 times now. And so you're like, okay, I get it. Yes, yes, yes. And that is how your subconscious works. Eventually, over time, you're going to be like, okay, I am that, so I will function in that way because I am it already. And so those flashcards are my first thing that I see in the morning and also the last thing I see at night. So if you wanted to implement this into your life, it's so, so easy. And I want to guarantee this. You will see a difference in the way that you operate. If you write out your affirmations, it can be anything. It can be goal related. It can be self-esteem related. In I am statements, put it next to your bed. When you wake up in the morning, read it. Then go about your day. And your mood is immediately shifted because you're like, oh my gosh, like I feel so good because I remember that I am these things and I will operate in that way right now, in the present moment. When you first wake up and when you first go to sleep, those are when you're the most susceptible to messages. That's when you're the most connected to your subconscious because there's not that wall between conscious and subconscious. You falling asleep or you waking up, that veil, it is the thinnest that it will be throughout the entire day. That was a lot to put on you for that one time, but affirmations is a great way to combat that need to always have value coming from external sources, because then it all becomes on you and leveling up in your intrinsic value so that you can now go out and operate in your most genuine and authentic self. And that brings me perfectly to my second point. The second way that you can always make sure that you are avoiding putting a lot of value on external sources is by having friends and family that supports you for you. And so I already have a podcast episode talking all about how to weed out your circle. I just want to go back to that because it is so important to have those people that have your back no matter what, because then it gives you the confidence to now go into different aspects of your life and channel this amazing new power that you get from channeling the confidence that your family has in you and now exuding that into your day-to-day life and your reality. And another reason why you want great friends and family members is because great friends and family members will never let you settle. They won't. They'll hear you say some sort of limiting belief out loud and they'll check you right there and say, that's a no. That's an absolute no from me, dog. And you deserve more. You deserve more. In your relationship, in your friendship, they're going to see the effects that having that relationship has on you. And then they're able to tell you, hey, dude, that doesn't look right. You're worth more than that. And it is a great reminder that, yeah, you know what? I am. Once again, oh my gosh, we're back to the I am. It's like, yeah, I am worthy of that. I don't deserve this. I deserve way more than this. Great friends and family will not let you settle in a certain aspect of your life. And so when your friends and family show you, hey there, this needs to change. You're settling in this area. From there, you have the realization that, you know what? I shouldn't be settling. You're right. Our family, friends and family, you're right. You start to recognize the other avenues of your life where you're settling, and then now you can address it. I need to make a change. I need to do something different. I don't want to stay in this place of unhappiness. I don't want to stay in this place of unfulfillment. Because why? Because I think the fuck not. You have the ability to make those changes. And so it's so powerful to have that close friends and family circle behind you and always supporting you and making sure that you rise to the standards that you set for yourself. And the concept of settling actually brings me perfectly into my third point. All right? My third point into how to avoid this extremely toxic energy in your relationships by putting too much value on it is by setting high standards and sticking to them. And notice how I didn't just say setting high standards, because a lot of people set high standards and then they settle, which is exactly what I was just talking about. They set the high standards. They're like, yep, this is me. This is what I'm going for. I'm worth this. And then boom, something happens and they start to settle again. So both are important. You need to set the high standards, and then you have to have enough willpower and motivation. You're always reminding yourself that, yeah, I am worth these standards. I am, because I know what I am bringing to the table. And so therefore I expect the same, if not more sometimes, back. But here's the kicker, folks. Here's a nice little kicker that I would like to just blow everyone's brains off with. There's a huge difference between having high standards and having self-destructive tendencies. But what's nuts is that those two things start to merge and it starts to look like each other when it's not, when that's not the case. Let me explain what I mean. Having high standards means that you are able to identify red flags that happen in, once again, either friendship, family, romantic relationships. You're able to identify those red flags because you recognize, hey, that is not in alignment with who I am, what I want out of this life, what I want out of this relationship. That's just not in alignment. And so from there, you can slowly but surely detach yourself from whatever relationship that you're in because, hey, you're not meeting my standards and that's all right. No ill will to you, but I gotta go. We gotta go. We don't got time to deal with people that cannot match the standard. Sorry. It's either you get on or you get out. Period. Freaking period. So that's the healthier way. And that also comes from this deep self-growth work, is figuring out what I truly want and what my intentions are, and then finding healthy relationships that match that. And always making sure that, once again, not only are we setting the standards, but we are upkeeping them in order to develop and create a life that we love and a life that is surrounded by people who we love with all of our hearts and souls. Also, I feel like the washer and dryer right now is battling. Hopefully you can't really hear it that much. That's a big fingers crossed for me, dog. My elbow just cracked. Anyway, what is today, bro? What is today? And then what the fuck is going on? Sorry about that, everyone. I feel as if literally all of the sounds in the entire world decided to combine together and be like, hey, we're actually going to start making every single sound that we possibly can while Tiana is recording. So that's always fun. And so let me go ahead and define self-destructive tendencies. If you are starting to go out of your way to find red flags and find what's wrong with the relationship that you're in, that has something to do with you, my guy. That has absolutely nothing to do with that person. So they could be, everything that you want and more. But because of past trauma, you are now putting that past trauma on them and trying to figure out, wait, what's wrong with you? And so let's give an example. Let's say that you previously had a very toxic relationship. You guys were constantly fighting. You both wanted to check each other's phones all the time. You didn't really have that trust factor. It seemed as if both of you were always walking on eggshells around each other. There was always a reason for a fight happening. And then eventually you end up leaving that toxic relationship. You end up leaving that toxic relationship. Woo! Hell yeah. Yay you. But then you end up finding this guy or girl that matches up perfectly to your standards. You're like, wow, this person is so respectful, so faithful, so trustworthy, so funny. But then because of your past trauma and your past relationship history, you are now trying to figure out what's wrong with them because you can't trust them because of a past experience. And that's not fair. That's not fair to anybody. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to them, because you just are projecting your insecurities and your self-doubts and your pessimism for having relationships on them because of what someone else did. And what if this person that you're with right now is actually the full package and can give you everything that you wanted and more in a relationship? But you choose to self-destruct it and pretend like there's red flags and pretend that they're doing something wrong and constantly pick fights, and you eventually end up pushing them away. That benefits a total of 0 people. Honestly, I want to say it benefits a total of -1 people. Let's go -2. -2 people. It benefits a total of -2 people because now both of you are hurt. It's a missed opportunity. And from there, it just starts to spiral downwards and downwards. And it's all because of your trauma that you haven't addressed. And that's why another podcast episode is going to be all about addressing your trauma, because that results in self-destructive tendencies that ends up sabotaging, that end up sabotaging your happiness and your fulfillment and your desires and your goals and all of that, all because of things that happened in your past. And there's a big difference between having those high standards and being self-aware enough to uphold those, and then having self-destructive tendencies where you feel that everything is a red flag and you address everything as if it is a red flag, but nothing's actually happening. It's all just in your head. And so when you do more self-growth work, you understand the difference. You understand when it's your ego talking or your higher self speaking. So that's why self-growth work is so important, is because being able to look inwardly and figure out, wait, hold on, is this a me thing or are they actually doing something wrong? That is the kicker. Being able to distinguish between a red flag and honestly you being the red flag. Like, is something in my past holding me back from truly trusting this person? And that perfectly brings me into my last and final point. And it is reminding yourself that you are an individual first and that everyone else around you is a bonus. And that may seem selfish to some people. I honestly don't care, because it really is not selfish. I also feel like the word selfish gets a very negative rap, but that's a whole nother topic. It's not selfish to remind yourself that you have your own identity before this person. Always. And I'm not just talking in the beginning when, you're going through the honeymoon phases, when everything is like hunky-dory and we're all having a good time. Reminding yourself that you're an individual first throughout the entire relationship can honestly strengthen the relationship. Because when you remind yourself of that, you're not constantly pulling the energy from this person all the time. And so the transfer of energies between two people should be borderline equal. Once in a while, you won't feel 100% that day, or you won't feel like giving your 50%. Maybe you're at 20%, then they meet you the other 80%, or maybe one day they're kind of lagging, they're having a bad day, then you're there to support them. I'm not talking about those sliding spectrums. I'm talking about making sure that you're not constantly pulling from this person at all times, because it's draining for not only them, but you. This is going to help a lot of people who are in long-term relationships that feel like they can't leave because, I already dedicated, 5, 10, 15 years into this person, sometimes even already married. And I've dedicated all this time into this person. So, I guess I should settle. I guess he's all right. I guess she's okay. I guess this can be my life. You never want a C average relationship, especially when you're talking about people in your close inner circle. It should never be yeah, I guess you make the cut, kinda. No. That's a no. That's an absolute NO. I understand that having that long of a relationship with someone and then finally seeing them not be there is going to suck. It's gonna hurt. Even if you guys don't benefit each other anymore, it's going to suck. It's gonna feel unfamiliar. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel like your whole life has shifted, truly. But it's so important that you do that now. You cut the cord now in a healthy and proactive way before 50 years down the line, 60 years down the line, however long you guys are going to be together, you end up having resentment for each other. And that makes no sense. That's a waste of time. I don't understand why we did that in the first place. Like, then at that point, instead of it being 5 years that you were together, 10 years that you invested in that person, instead of it being 5 or 10 years, it's now 50 years. And now at this point, what the hell? Like, what was that? Why did we do that? Why couldn't we just cut the cord immediately when we knew that it wasn't going to be working out, or when we knew that we were not feeling aligned and fulfilled, and then move on with our lives and find people who really make us happy? And that doesn't have anything to do with either person. Sometimes you're just not compatible, and that's all right. That's okay, folks. It's okay to not be a perfect romantic or perfect friendship match right off the bat. But it's really, really important that you remember your identity and that it doesn't merge with the person that you're with. Because once you associate your identity with them always being around or their personality traits, and you guys start to do this where it's like, wait, was that my thing or was that his thing? Oh, that's kind of weird. Wait, what did I used to like? Are we doing everything that he likes? Are we doing everything that she likes? Once it starts to get to that point, be very, very cautious, because relationships are so much more beautiful when both people are striving for their goals at the same time and up-leveling together and supporting one another in that way. It's like having one whole person and one whole person. That's why I kind of, not to be pessimistic to this whole thing, because I understand the amazing gesture that it says, but I don't like the term "you complete me." I don't think I've ever used that. And it's because you didn't complete me. I'm at 100% fullness. You just overflowed my cup. You overfilled the happiness of my cup. And that seems so much more beautiful than, oh, now that I have you, I've reached my 100%. And I know that I'm probably reading too much into it. And I know that a lot of people are going to be like, Tiana, can you just let them say that? Other people can say it. I just don't say it because I know that I was complete before them. Like, I don't need this person. I want this person. I enjoy them. I value them. I understand them. They understand me. They want me back because we don't need that completing piece. We're already complete. You're a beautiful addition to my life. And instead of creating a toxic and possessive and controlling relationship, we now have a relationship where we can both grow, learn, evolve together side by side, rather than I need him, I need to hang out to him, or I need her, she's the only thing I have, he's the only thing that makes me get up in the morning. That terrifies me, honestly. And that should terrify you. If you are that dependent on someone, I'm sorry, this is tough love. If you are that dependent on somebody where the only reason why you get out of bed in the morning is because of them, that needs to change. And that's why my hope and my desire and my want out of this podcast episode is to show you, if you are in that space, or to remind you, if you're not in that space and you're currently looking for a partner, that you are worthy, you are enough, just the way you are. And we all have things to work out about ourselves. Nobody is freaking perfect, but there is someone out there for you that will accept that and love that for you. And if you have someone like that already, that's fucking awesome. Upkeep that. That's magical. But I feel and I have experienced and seen that that's not always the case for a lot of people. And my hope and my dream and my desire from this podcast episode is to reach those that are either struggling with the relationships that they have with either their parents or their family members, loved ones, friends, romantic relationships, to remind them that there is a way that they can work on themselves in order to become a very full and whole person, and that from becoming a full person yourself independently and developing your identity into what you truly feels like you, the right people are going to be attracted to you when you do that work, when you start to show up as your authentic self. You're now attracting people into your life that are going to benefit you, and you're going to do it involuntarily just by changing what's in here first and then radiating that out to the rest of the world. Anyway, that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope something in here resonated with you on a spiritual, mental, emotional level. And I hope you take this information and always remember that you are worthy, you are loved, you are enough, you are everything that you could possibly want out of this world. You just have to find it. It's in there. And by using those powerful methods that I talked about today, you are going to see significant changes in the way that you build relationships. And the relationships will no longer have this pressure to hold on for dear life to them if they're no longer serving you. Now, building relationships is more about adding to your vibe. It's not about building your identity, because your identity comes from within. All right. I just want to say that I love you guys with all of my heart and soul. If you're loving what you're hearing, please leave a review on whatever podcast streaming site that you're on. And obviously subscribe to YouTube. I hope you're having an amazing day. I can't wait to talk to you guys on the next episode. And always remember that you deserve to live fearlessly fulfilled. Majalos.